Hey, how's it going, guys? My name's Sean, and I'm here to show you how you can get started on your web pen testing journey using Hack Me Silly. So Hack Me Silly is an application that I wrote over winter break in React.js, and it's really meant to highlight some of the very basic things that general newer web developers might make, so that you as a upcoming new pen tester might look for these vulnerabilities, find them, or if you're a web developer yourself, it can teach you to actually see some of these vulnerabilities that you might have in your own code and you might not even realize, right? A lot of the times developers will pump out code really, really fast without seeing if it's completely safe. So this will highlight some of those things, and hopefully you guys will learn some stuff along the way, and let's get started. So I'm going to teach you how you can actually get this up and running on your own machine. What I did was I turned this into a Docker, it's a multi-Docker container application, and what that means is it's basically three separate items, the front end, the back end, and the database, right? Each of them are in something called a container, and you can get them running using Docker Desktop if you're on Windows. If you're on Linux, there's a command line version of it, but it's the same exact process that I'm going to show you. But so it's very, very simple, and there's only three things that you need to get started with this. One is the Chromium web browser, which I'm assuming a lot of people already have. Two is the Docker desktop application if you're on Windows and Mac, and then Docker command line interface if you're on Linux. And three is Git. And so I'll put downloads to all three of those things below in the comment or in the description. And so you should pause the video now if you don't have any of those three installed, and get those installed. With Docker Desktop, if you're on Windows or Mac, you will need to restart your system. So do be aware of that. So I'm going to close out of this now, and I'm going to go into my Docker Desktop, and I'm going to delete the containers that are already running that are allowing me to get to Hack Me Silly. And we're just going to wait for it to delete. And so if you're now back and you have Docker Desktop, Git, and Chromium web browser installed, go ahead and open up your command prompt. So cmd, worked anyway. And I want you to change directories to somewhere that you feel comfortable working in, and I want you to make a directory. I want you to use this command that I'm also going to post in the, the description. Sorry. So you just want to type in Git Clone and this URL, and that will already exists and is not an empty directory. 1 second. Sorry about that. I accidentally, while testing, forgot to delete the folder that I already cloned down. So if you just type in this command and you press enter, it'll clone down a repository that I made that is a Docker Compose file. Now, you don't need to know what a Docker Compose file is. You don't need to know any of that. But what you do want to do is change directory into the now Hack Me Silly Docker Compose, and then all you want to do is run with, mind you, you should have Docker Desktop open when this is running if you're on Windows or Mac, and then if you're on Linux, you need to have the Docker service running. Otherwise, this will not work. So now all you want to do is Docker Compose up-D, and what this does is it's going to start all of the containers that we need for Hack Me Silly to run successfully, and the -D is to make sure that we don't have it in our terminal here. If you don't have the -D, that's totally fine, and then you can just like Control-C out of it, but you'll just want to delete them when you're done after this. So let's press enter. And you're going to see it's going to create a bunch of stuff. It's going to start all the containers, and then bam, it's already done. So we can minimize this, go into a new tab, and we can go to localhost 3000, and we can see Hack me silly. Woo! So just a quick tour. We have 4 levels of authentication that you want to beat: level 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pretty cool stuff. And then we can skip the login if we want to, and we can go straight to the keys. So this is the challenges page. So these are all of the challenges, and this represents the page that the challenge can be found on, or what it's sort of with, right? So we have the login screen, bank, shopping, blog, and hacker playground, and server manipulation. So server manipulation is strictly messing with the server that's involved with this, the server container. And so that one obviously doesn't have a page. But let's take a quick tour. So we have our bank app, right? We have our shopping app, and we have our blog app. And each one of these things is vulnerable in some way, and you can figure out what challenges you need to complete over here in the keys section. So in order to complete a challenge, just enter a key, click submit, and then it'll tell you if you got it right or if you got it wrong. And when you guys are done with the day and you want to delete the containers, right? You're done with Hack Me Silly. Maybe you've already beaten it, right? It was too easy. You just click download keys here, and it'll download all of the keys that you've already completed. And then when you want to restart all the containers, just click upload keys and upload that .json file, and it'll autocomplete all of the challenges that you have already completed. Sorry. And that's it, man. That's all you need to do. Now, to do a teardown, we'll just close out of our browser here. If you're in Windows or Mac, you can see this. Just press delete forever, and then wait for it to delete. Taking a bit longer. There we go. And then just also don't forget to go over to volumes and just go ahead and delete all the volumes that you have in here that are associated with the database. And that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for listening, guys, and I hope you have a really, really fun time using this application. I spent a lot of time on it, and it is for beginners, so don't judge it too harshly, you hardcore coders out or hardcore hackers out there. Have a good one. Bye.